Hi, Scott Gibble from My Little Falls. We're here at Veterans Memorial Park in Little Falls where we are interviewing the 1983 Utica Blue Sox New-York-Penn League championship team. Now, you might think it's a little strange we're down here in Little Falls, but the Utica-Little Falls baseball rivalry goes back years. Of course, it's in full force right now with the Mohawk Valley Diamond Dogs and the Utica Blue Sox. But back in 1983, it was the Little Falls Mets versus the Utica Blue Sox. And I'm here with the manager of that 1983 team, Mr. Jim Gattis. Jim, thank you.
Oh, my pleasure. It's exciting to be here.
So, Jim, how about some memories of that memorable 1983 season for you guys?
Well, Little Falls was our favorite place to come because back then the senior citizens took care of the field, and it still is beautiful, but it was immaculate back then. I'd get in trouble for hitting fungos in the wrong place by some of the fellows taking care of the field. And the 83 team, Little Falls, the Mets weren't as good as they usually were. In 1982, they were the best team in the league. But the Mets beat the Oneonta Yankees on the last day of the season in 83 to allow us the championship. So I will always be grateful to Little Falls.
So that was a half game that you won the Eastern Division by, correct?
That's correct.
Well, you got to love a tight baseball race going down to the wire. So take us through, once you beat the Mets, or you edged out the Mets for the Eastern Division title, now you're in the championship against the Newark Orioles. Take us through that.
Well, we had played, I think, 6 games in 2 or 3 days in Watertown and Utica, and we were pretty exhausted. So it was a 2 out of 3 series, and Newark came in and beat us at home handily. I don't remember the score, but they beat us pretty good. And then we went to Newark and had a tight game. I think we won 4-2 to make the rubber match at the end, and then we won that game 7-0, I believe, and that was that.
All right. So how about some memorable characters from that 1983 team?
Oh my gosh! Well, certainly Roy Moretti was the best closer in the league, and he was definitely a character. Big Bob Veal, our pitching coach, was a character. If the guys hit him too hard in batting practice, he'd throw harder and break their bats. Joanne was the only female general manager in all of professional baseball. I don't know. I could go on and on. Some of the guys you're going to talk to here were definitely characters. Some of the players are here. Don Jacoby, I'm looking at, Bob Hendershot, Joe Piccioni, Eddie Wolf. I think that's it. Oh, and of course, Mike Zalewski, our scorekeeper. He's a character then and now.
All right. Anything else you'd like to add about that team?
No, it's just a great experience, wonderful guys, and really a good operation. So we're grateful for the whole deal.
All right. Thanks, Coach. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
So I'm here with Bob Hendershot of the 1983 Utica Blue Sox New-York-Penn League championship team. Bob, thanks for coming on down.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for having us.
All right. So first of all, what position did you play?
I was an outfielder here.
Okay.
Yeah.
So playing here at the cavernous Veterans Memorial Park, any any interesting experiences you had out in that outfield?
No, not really. It's just a really beautiful ballpark. I know that the outfield was manicured just as well as the infield, and you got good bounces and good hops. You could charge the ball real hard because of that, and balls hitting the gap. You had to make sure that the fence comes a little quicker than most parks here because it's not as deep as some of the other parks. But just a beautiful place to play. Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, it's always been considered one of the gems of the baseball world. Yeah. So how about some memories that stick out from you for that 1983 season, especially against the Mets?
Well, nothing in particular. I know opening day here, a guy jumped out of a plane and was supposed to parachute on the outfield, and the wind blew him past the field, and he disappeared down in the valley. So I don't know where he landed, maybe down there on a softball field somewhere. Playing-wise, it's just a beautiful place to play. Played good here, played real well. Just a lot of good competition. They had a really, really good ball club, and it was tough to beat them. our pitchers had to throw real hard and challenge hitters a lot, just to kind of, stay ahead of the count. But it was just always a tough challenge to come here and win.
So tell me that parachute opened anyway.
It opened up it opened up, but yeah. And so we're all standing here like, national anthem type, time. And yeah, we're watching. And like I said, the wind picked up and it blew him right past. And he went down over them trees in the valley somewhere. I'm assuming he must have found a softball field or a baseball field down there, down in the valley. So yeah,
right.
just a beautiful ballpark here. And it looks like it's been maintained really well. Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. So you edged out the Mets by a half game for the Eastern Division crown. Take us through that stretch drive into the championship against the Orioles.
Against the Orioles, we had gotten beat at home first game. Then we went to Newark and we won 2. I know that pitching, it was just really nip and tuck all the way. It was tough to really kind of get out in front of them and establish any type of big lead. So it was just tough to stay focused and take every pitch, win every pitch, win every at bat, and make sure that we communicated in the outfield when balls were hitting the gap, and put together a team effort. And yeah, like you say, we were blessed enough to beat them out, and which turned out to be our championship season. Yeah.
All right. Every baseball team's got a lot of characters. Give us one that you remember from that team.
That characters from that team? Oh, geez, there's so many. Everybody did their own thing. Our catcher, Robin Dreisler, he was just a super great catcher, great and just a great teammate. He was always up to something, hiding something, or trying something new out on the field. At home, he would try to juggle a bicycle on his chin, and just silly little stuff like that before the ball game, just to entertain the fans. And yeah, he was pretty much he wasn't a jokester, but just the way he carried on, and we all followed him. We were like, he was like our Pied Piper when it come to that. Yeah.
All right. Well, that's awesome. Thank you so much, Bob. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. We're here at Veterans Memorial Park in Little Falls with filmmaker Brad Weatherly. Brad, thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
All right. So tell us a little bit about this film you're down here making.
So right now we're in the development process, so writing the story, the script. But I heard about this project because I was looking to do a minor league story, a true story. So after a bit of Googling, I found out about Roger Kahn's book, Good Enough to Dream, and read it and found out what an amazing story it was. So I proceeded to do some more research and contacted, and unfortunately Roger Kahn passed away a few years ago, the author and president of the '83 Blue Sox, but was able to get in contact with his estate, his son Gordon and his daughter Alyssa, who was here that summer, and able to get an option deal to get the rights for it. And last year I was invited down when the team was inducted into the Hall of Fame, so I was able to meet them all and speak to them, and they've been so welcoming and generous with their time for all my questions. So as soon as they had it last year, they said, we're going to come back again next year, and they were nice enough to invite me again.
Okay, so tell us a little bit about the research. Is it just interviewing the players and people that were involved with the team, or is it more to it than that?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, there's definitely more. So, I mean, it's all the ballparks that they went to. So coming out here and seeing Little Falls, Veterans Memorial Park is excellent because I heard all the stories about how nice it is and hasn't disappointed. But checking out the other ballparks that are still open is on the list to do. And just seeing, where these guys were all coming from before they landed with the Blue Sox. Because they were an independent team, they were all either released from other MLB organizations or were never drafted in the first place. So they all had something to prove. And so finding out what that was is part of the story.
Yeah, excellent. And when can we expect the film to be released?
Probably won't be for another few years, but as we continue to develop it, I'll be in touch and keep you guys informed.
All right. Well, we're certainly looking forward to it. Thanks, Brad.
Thanks for having me.
All right. Cheers. So, Ed, thanks for coming on. Appreciate it. So, first of all, what position did you play with the Blue Sox?
I played third base in '82, and then I played first base with the championship club in '83.
So, tell us a little bit about that '83 season.
Oh, my God. The memories are unreal. It was the the best baseball experience of my life, playing with these guys that we've got together the last couple of years, and the memories are just outstanding.
Yeah, so you were an independent team, so you weren't affiliated with an MLB club. Did you guys feel almost like a band of brothers kind of feeling?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, a lot of us had been overlooked or released or whatever, and I don't want to say it was like we had something to prove, but we bonded so well, and the camaraderie of the clubs were unbelievable. To this day, I was just telling my wife on the flight over yesterday, these guys mean so much to me in my life, and when I look back on it, by far my best baseball experience, by far.
What other leagues did you play in?
This is the only league I played in. In fact, when we won the championship in '83, I had a couple opportunities to go on and play. One of them was in Italy, but I had some opportunities, and I was just like, it can't get better than what I just did, and I was just wanted to get on with my life at that point, and I got married, and it was like we won that championship, and I was fulfilled. That meant the world to me.
Yeah, there's nothing in the world like minor league baseball at all.
It was the best.
So how about just give me a couple characters from that team?
Oh, we had all kinds of them. We had Rocky, who was I had known Rocky since we were young. We grew up in the same town in Phoenix. So Rocky, Robin Dreisler was unbelievable. I don't know how much you know about Robin, but he's the guy who used to walk around with a bicycle on his chin. We had it all. The characters were unbelievable, and just the fact that all those personalities meshed the way they did was phenomenal. Because, like I say, we had it all. We had big, serious guys. We had guys that messed around all the time. We had a little bit of everything.
Yeah, and it's great to see that baseball rivalry between Utica and Little Falls alive and well to this very day.
It was big. It was big. And I was just telling the guys here, this was my favorite park to play in. I loved coming here. For one, had the short center field fence, and I was the guy who hit the ball in the middle, so I figured if I got a shot at a home run, it'll be in this park. Because the lines are so deep. I knew I was never going to do anything there, but the rivalry was unbelievable, and I loved coming here because the fans were great. They were very supportive of their team, and they'd get on us, and it was fun for us. We loved it, but like I said, this was my favorite park to play in by far.
So since you brought it up, I got to ask you, did you ever hit one out of here?
I did, to center field though. And it was a pop-up. It was a routine pop-up, but it left the ballpark. I said, I'll take it, man, because I've never seen a park where it's like 380 on the lines and 360 in center. Never saw anything like it. And it came in, and immediately my eyes just like, oh, man, this park's built for me. Yeah, loved it. So,
and you know what? Pop-up or no, it got over the fence, and that's all that counts.
And it counted, absolutely. Yeah.
All righty. Well, thank you for coming on. We appreciate it.
You're welcome.
All right.
My pleasure.
All right, Don, welcome on, and we appreciate you coming on. So what position did you play with the Blue Sox?
I played second base.
right.
Second base and a little bit of third.
All right, so how about some memories from that memorable 1983 season?
Well, one of the biggest memories I have of that season is right here in this ballpark. There used to be a billboard out there in left center field, and I guess it was late in the season. The first baseman, I think it was Chris Maloney for the Mets, he hit a ball off that billboard, and it popped back over the fence. And our left fielder, Barry Moss, he played it like it went off the wall. The umpire never saw it, and he ended up, I guess, with a single. So the next inning, I get up, I hit a ball off the same spot of that billboard, and the ball stayed over the fence, so it was a home run. And I think we ended up winning by that run, and that was like one of the most memorial games that I could remember.
Was it run for the hills as soon as the game was over?
It was always something like that. So with us, and being here today, I remember a couple of home runs that I hit. One was inside the right field. I remember hitting a line drive just inside that right field foul line right there, right by the pole. I don't remember a lot of the home runs I hit, but I remember the two that I hit here off that billboard and then inside that right field foul pole. But this was always a lot of fun to play here because of the crowds. and because of the Mets. You know, the Mets were my hometown team, so me personally, I always felt a little bit. I got up a little bit more to play the Mets, and it was just really a great experience.
Now, were the Mets the Blue Sox biggest rivalry, and would they say the same about you?
I think so. I think, you know, we were close. We were always neck and neck in the standings. They were, you know, first and second, and we were always battling each other. They had a lot of, I think this was a spot where they sent a lot of their higher draft picks. So the competition was, you know, a little on a bigger level. And we wanted to beat them bad. We wanted to show them that you know, we could play. So, yeah, I would say Little Falls was definitely the #1 rival, without a doubt.
And you guys were an independent team, so of course they were affiliated with the New York Mets. So being an independent team, did that bring you guys a little bit closer together, knowing you had like one common goal to maybe get to the big leagues without them?
Absolutely. We all had a chip on our shoulders. Okay, we all had been signed previously. A lot of us played in the minor leagues, and we all wanted to show these major league organizations that we could play. And so we played with chips on our shoulders, and we wanted to show everybody out there that, hey, you know, we can play as good as they are, and even better. So every time we went out there, and we had a lot of adversity too, because we had everybody against us. We had, you know, a lot of these teams, a lot of these organizations, they didn't want to see us succeed, because a lot of us were guys that were released from their organizations. So they did not want to see us succeed, but you know, that even added to it. So you know, I think it was just we had a combination on this team where there was a group of guys that the chemistry was so good. We played. We all wanted to win so bad. We had a manager that was so intense, that had great passion for this game. And, you know, we fed off of him. I know I did personally. He motivated me to no end. And it made me a better player. And I think it made the rest of us better players too. And, you know, we took that out on the field. And we took it to every team that we played. I think we gained a lot of respect. You know, people didn't know what to expect when they saw us and when they were going to play us, because of a lot of the talk. But I think when it was all said and done, I think we got a lot of respect. I know from the players, and I know from the coaches, and I think from the baseball community.
Yeah, and as far as nobody wanted to see you succeed, that 1983 championship must have been a payback as a you-know-what.
It was. It was probably one of the biggest things in my baseball career. And I'll never forget that. I always felt, I went on to coach and scout and spent a long time in Major League Baseball, but I always go back to Utica, to that 1983 season. It was a big highlight of my career, and I've always wanted to come back to Utica someday. And last year and this year, I finally got the opportunity to do that.
All right. Well, thanks very much for coming on, Don. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right. Joe, welcome back to Veterans Memorial Park.
Beautiful. One of our favorite fields. One of my favorite fields.
How about some memories that really stand out from that 1983 season?
Oh, the 83 season. I can remember, because I had come here since 81. So I remember back in 81 getting my first run across with a sacrifice. We won by 1 run. And I think there was a kid, Steve Phillips. And I remember a game-winning hit over his head to win a game. Other than that, this was one of the most beautiful parks we ever played on. I think at the time it used to be red, like a crushed red brick or something, and it was just never a bad hop. Everything was just beautiful, really well maintained. And it just looks, this is just like coming back to yesterday almost. It's beautiful.
Yeah,
Very nice.
There's nothing like coming back. I mean, obviously you played for the Blue Sox, so this wouldn't be home, but it's almost like coming back home.
It was like coming home, you know, other than, you know, having a tough time with the Mets as we always did. It was usually a good series when we'd play them, and coming here, I just can't tell you what this does for all of us because, coming here and playing, we've got the opportunity now to see what we couldn't see then. You come here, you play the game, you're gone. Now we get to see everything that's around this place, and it's just gorgeous, just beautiful.
Yeah, it really is, and it's got to be good to see the baseball rivalry between Utica and Little Falls alive and well to this very day between the Mohawk Valley Diamond Dogs and your Utica Blue Sox.
No kidding. Yeah, I'd love to come up and do that. I think Lou calls plays here, Lou Parada, and talked to him one time while he was up in the booth. And you can almost feel like you were here, but until you get here, this is just mesmerizing. It's just, I think there used to be stands over here.
There was.
And that's where all the Met fans were. And I can still remember being in the on-deck circle, and one of the Mets pitchers, Jeff Ennis, I believe, had come over, and he was getting hit pretty hard by these guys over there. And I'm on deck here, and they're starting to rag him over there. And he looks right at me in the eye, and he says, "That's okay, because the next guy's going down." I thought, okay. And he upheld his promise. Yeah, that's the days you could do that.
Old-time baseball, gotta love it.
Baseball.
All right.
You just took it as part. Yep.
All right. Excellent. Well, Joe, thanks for coming on. Appreciate it. All right.
This is just...
Okay, I'm here with Joanne Gerace, who was the general manager of that 1983 Utica Blue Sox team. Welcome back to Little Falls.
Thank you, and it's as beautiful as ever.
Thank you very much. So that was just such a memorable season for the team. Give us some of the memories that really stick out for you.
Oh, my goodness, there's so many. Our team was, they called them the ragtag team. They gave them all kinds of names. We'd come here to this wonderful stadium, and our guys' uniforms were torn and tattered and dirty, but they'd come in here and they would just play their game, and it was amazing. And I think that everybody was a little bit envious of us because, we were the ragtags, but we did great. We did great every place we went.
Well, in interviewing some of these players here with the tattered uniforms and the stories they told, they almost sound like the Gas House gang of the St. Louis Cardinals of yesteryear.
Well, we weren't exactly respected by the league. They thought we were just renegades and, anybody could play on our team, but they were wrong. They had a bunch of talent. You had talented guys on this team that wanted to play ball, and they wanted to win. They knew they weren't going to really go anywhere, so it was all for themselves, and this proves it now at 41 years later when they can get together and be just as harmonious as they were back then.
Now, being the Renegades, did that make it a little bit more difficult for you as your job as general manager?
Well, I know that it wasn't tough to sell tickets in our ballpark. Our fans loved them. They loved them. It was tough with other general managers. Like I say, they would debate, how old the players were, and of course, baseball age doesn't. It's never true, but anyhow, they would always question that. They say, "Well, this guy was, he's 30 years old and he shouldn't be playing." But things like that, I would have to get challenged with. As far as uniforms and everything, we really didn't have a lot of money, so I couldn't do much more than that. And we also didn't have money for a good bus, so these guys sometimes had to ride on a school bus. So there you arrive at a field in the yellow bus. It's a little embarrassing, but they shrugged it off. They just dealt with it.
Well, championship takes the sting off that embarrassment for sure. So the team president was the legendary baseball author Roger Kahn. Tell us what it was like working with him.
Well, Roger actually was supposed to be in Columbus. Okay, that's where he was going to, because Doubleday owned owned the team in Columbus, and things weren't working out there. So they were a full season, so they had started, and we hadn't started our season yet. And Roger came to a league meeting. Okay, came to the Newark-Penn League meeting, and looking for a place to come in and write the book. So. I happened to sit next to him, and he gave his speech, and I said, "Roger, come to Utica. We have a place for you." And he did, and that worked out really well. And it was very interesting with Roger because here's a guy that was best friends with the Dodgers, and he was that kind of a person, and he's got this team to write about, and he wasn't upset with it. had to roll with it. He had to understand how to work around, everything, the craziness of what was going on. And, he'd have his scotch bottle in the bottom drawer of his file cabinet. So, that kind of eased the pain a little bit.
That's all right. Whatever you got to do, right?
But he loved the guys. He loved the players, and he stood up for them 100%.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much. And like I said, welcome back to Little Falls, and nice to see you.
It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you very much.
Take care.
Okay.
I'm here with Jim Ruffing, the bat boy for the 1983 Utica Blue Sox team. How about some memories from that season?
Well, there's a lot, and as you can tell with all the other guys you talk to, there's so many memories. But one of them that sticks out is it's only a short drive from Utica to here, and we had a school bus, and we loaded all our equipment on the school bus, and there's no seats for me or for the bat boy, so I had to lay or sit on the equipment in the back of the bus and like hit every bump and whatever coming up here, and by the time I get out I can't even walk. So but that's tons of memories like that, just like different things, but a lot of it is just knowing the guys and growing. When I was only 13, 14 years old, these guys taught me a lot, and just how to be good guys and stuff, and they really memories are just like hanging out, and camaraderie and all that kind of stuff, and good stories.
Well, your brother's an alderman here on the Little Falls Common Council, so it's good to see that the baseball rivalry is alive and well between Utica and Little Falls. A little interfamily baseball rivalry.
Yeah, well, no, he does. He likes the Pirates. Who likes the Pirates? So, the Red Sox, Yankees are way better than the Pirates, so there's no rivalry there. But no, it's great. And we come back, these guys are so impressed with the field and how it's taken great care of up here, and they have great memories here. So that's probably the good thing about being so close to Utica and having good rivalries that way, and just memories of the field.
All righty. Well, thank you very much. Appreciate it. I'm here with Little Falls Mayor Deborah Kaufman. Mayor, this is a huge day for Little Falls with an old rival coming to town.
It's incredible, and we couldn't have asked for better weather. These players that were part of the Blue Sox in the 70s and 80s when we had the Mets here, they love this field. I'm really surprised. I had no idea how much it meant to them. And one of the things they said that was so wonderful is the field looks the same as it did then. There isn't a lot of urban upgrowth or anything like that. It is pristine. And our Little Falls guys were out here very early this morning. They were making sure that the grass was just so, everything was raked. So very proud day to be part of all of this.
Yeah, and of course, growing up in Little Falls, that has been the common theme throughout the whole time here at Vets Park. Everybody that comes here, past, present, and I'm sure in the future will say, what a beautiful ballpark this is.
Yeah, it is. It really is. And we had the minor league, of course, the Mets was incredible. And then we've had 8 different collegiate teams since the Mets closed down in '88. So we've had a lot of ball being played on this field. And still today, it's a real popular field. So.
Well, yeah, we got the Mohawk Valley Diamond Dogs here, and they, of course, now battle the new incarnation of the Utica Blue Sox in the Perfect Game Collegiate Baseball League.
Yeah, the Diamond Dogs, a favorite. Who doesn't like baseball, right? And, to be able to see the Diamond Dogs out here playing, and one of my favorites is to sit here and watch it at night with the lights on the field. It's gorgeous. It really looks like something out of a movie. So we're thrilled. And the Diamond Dogs with Travis Hauser, he does just an incredible job keeping that thing going for over 10 years now, I believe. So it's great to have them.
Yeah, he really has, and like I said, it's great to see all these old players come back, and I tell you, I'd love to see them come back for a game sometime. You know what we should think about doing? Let's see if we can put together like an old-timers game, like they do at Yankee Stadium.
I love it. Wouldn't that be fun?
It would be.
Yeah, that would be great. We'll work on it.
Sounds good. Thanks, Mayor. Appreciate it.